people in Delhi saying, okay, let's give them an economic package, let's give them some money, let's give them some incentives, and they will keep quiet.
Okay, I take your point. Very quickly, almost in a word, you began by saying that people in Kashmir no longer trust the Chief Minister. Do you think that he's become an obstacle? Does he need to go? But a quick answer.
It doesn't matter. See, it doesn't matter whether it's Mr. Omar Abdullah or whether it's Mr. Mufti Mohammed Saeed. They represent the same thought. They represent India and Kashmir. They never represented Kashmiris in India.
I understand. Let me bring you in, Muzaffar Beg, on a show that this program did on Monday, when unfortunately you couldn't be with us. Amitabh Mattu, the former Vice Chancellor of Jammu University, said that the time had come for the Prime Minister to go on television and speak to the Kashmiri people and give them the assurance both that their grievances will be taken care of and also that after that their aspirations, although he may differ on the bit of identifying the grievance as the Chief Minister himself. But do you think the time has come for the Prime Minister to speak? Would that help?
Karan, before I answer this, I must elucidate what I said earlier. I've said that the fundamental problem is the aspirations of the people. I am not contradicting what Maulana Umar Farooq has said. That's the fundamental problem. But that's a long-term problem that needs to be addressed. There are three parties, Pakistan, India, and the people.
I understand the short term is the grievance that must be addressed, but do you think in the short term the Prime Minister needs to speak?
The Chief Minister has become a problem. He has undermined all mainstream parties. Today's agitation is not so much against India or Congress party. It is an agitation against the inept and callous attitude of the Chief Minister. He is undermining the Indian state, he is undermining Congress, he is undermining Hurriyat Conference. Today he is asking Hurriyat Conference, PDP, Congress, Indian Nation, Indian Army, CRP, everyone to cooperate with him. He has undermined all these institutions and he is becoming a liability for everyone.
Let me stop you there. I have to stop you there, Mr. Beg, because I don't want this to become a personal attack on the Chief Minister, nor do I want it to become a PDP versus
I am saying that today, perhaps Prime Minister can reach out to the people, but after a month, even if the Prime Minister in Indian Parliament tries to reach out to the people, it may be too late.
Okay, that's a very interesting point. Today you accept the Prime Minister can reach out. After a month it may be too late. Mr. Waheed, let's move off the Chief Minister. I don't want to personalize this around Omar Abdullah. But do you think the time has come for the Prime Ministers to step in? Because clearly it is a very fragile, dangerous situation in Srinagar. We cannot afford to let it slip further. Would the Prime Minister carry credibility which perhaps the state government may not at the moment?
I think that the Prime Minister, yes, the Prime Minister does have to address the people of Jammu and Kashmir, and specifically the Kashmir and the Valley, because that's where most of the problems have been. I think that a degree of acknowledgement that the people of the Valley have been ignored, have been taken for granted, have been toyed with, is also not going to hurt in terms, because whenever the Prime Minister addresses the people, it cannot be with the assumption that everything is settled. It has to be with the assumption that certain things are being challenged by the crowds that have come out. It is a question of sovereignty that is being challenged. The PDP and National Conference debate that is going on is, from the point of view of the current problems, neither here nor there. You know, it is actually the fact that the issue that the Prime Minister will have to address or Delhi will have to address is that the very definition of sovereignty in Jammu and Kashmir has to be addressed.
Okay.
And once that is addressed, then, and you know, lest this sound a little bit radical or very radical, let me also put it another way, and that is to say that was addressed in 1953. It was addressed in 1956. It was addressed in 1975. What is it that is causing Delhi to pretend that it has never been an issue and will not be an issue?
Okay. In other words, Delhi needs to wake up and look back at the history of Kashmir, both to realize that this issue has repeatedly occurred, it's occurring yet again, and not to deny the need to address it. Let's take a break and come back and ask the critical question, how then should this be addressed? There's talk in Delhi of convening an all-party conference, but does that even halfway meet the requirement? Or do we need to think much more radically? That's in a moment's time. See you after the break.